What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with another MMA superstar. This time we get to chat with PFL lightweight Anthony Pettis. He's a former WEC and UFC lightweight champ. He gets down on June 24th. It's a Friday. Catch it on ESPN. His opponent, Stevie Ray. What's up, AP? How are you?
I'm good, bro. Can't complain.
Nice. So listen, man. This year especially, but I guess just the last few years have produced a lot of great techniques that just drop people's jaws, because MMA can be so beautiful and so violent, right? And I'll give an example. Molly McCann and the spinning elbow that she threw.
Yeah.
She had a spinning back fist in the Zhang Weili fight. Chandler with the up kick. But when you watch the fights, does just your ego kind of tell you, the Showtime's still number one? Does it hold up at least to you? Because I know it does to a lot of fans, man. I could probably make the argument as well. Just such a captivating technique, and it happened such a long time ago that the young fans don't even realize that it's in the history books.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Showtime kick was something that was amazing, bro. And not only the way I did it, but the circumstances I did it under. The fourth, the final round, the 30 seconds left to win the title shot. It was amazing. You guys hear me?
Exactly. Yeah, we can hear you. We're good? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was thinking so Anderson Silva over Vitor Belfort, that one protected his title. Okay, that carries weight. McCann, no disrespect to her, beautiful technique, but it wasn't in a title fight like yours was. And I think if I'm not mistaken, it was an arguable 2-2 going into the fifth. That one steals the show. Stephan Bonner's reaction alone, that's a veteran who was in a great fight, and he was at a loss for words. So I don't know, man. That technique is still up there for me, and the timing of it all. You did it against a great fighter, not a jabroni. You know what I mean? It carries weight still, man, to this day.
Yeah, bro. No, I think the Showtime kicks. I don't think it's going anywhere, bro. Even now, when people see me, they're like, "Oh, you're a fighter." "Oh, you're the guy that did that kick off the cage." They remember me for that. Not the UFC win, the Wheatie box, WC. They remember me for the Showtime kick, and I think it was it was an amazing move, honestly.
It was, man. See, I grew up before MMA even started. So you think of Ali standing over listening, Dr. J, a dunk that he may have had, the catch by Dwight Clark and Joe Montana threw it to him. Some of these memories just live on. And I think for MMA fans, that's going to be something that goes on. And I'm glad you can still talk about it with a passion, because I know that for a lot of athletes, it's like, oh, come on, dude, that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy how long ago it was, bro. My daughter's turning 11 next month, and I'm like, whoa, bro. I've been around for a while. I've been in this sport for a long time.
You sure have. And boy, you look great a few months ago. So
Thanks,
you weren't lying. You told us, hey, it was going to be different. I got the format down. I'm ready. And you went out there. You snatched 6 points. So I want to ask you what may sound like a ridiculous question, but when someone has 0 points, they're going to have to fight out of their shell and maybe get away from a disciplined game plan that they're used to get 6 so they can advance to the playoffs. How about you? Can you in any way be complacent because you kind of already have a spot sealed, so you want to make sure you don't get injured and you want to be strategic? Does that even weigh on you, or are you just
No, 1,000,000%, bro. I think last season taught me a lot. I didn't know what to expect last season. Last season I was like, I'm gonna go out there and whoop these guys' ass and get my belt again. And unfortunately, that first fight didn't go my way at all. So I know how it feels coming into this fight with no points. If you don't win and usually if you don't get a decision, a finish, you're not in the playoffs. You need them 5 or 6 points to get to the playoffs. This all depends on what happens this Friday, really. All the pressure is really on Stevie Ray, and I'm a lot smarter than I was last year. Last year I was trying to go out there and prove something and trying to be Showtime, and it was a new organization. I felt like it was a lot of pressure on me that I've never felt before. And then fighting back to back it's different. My whole career I was able to bust my ass during training camp, have a fight, and take as much time off as I needed, and then do it all over again. This format's not the case. I'm fighting June 24th. I have another one August 5th after I win this one. And then right to November. So it's a crazy format that you got to be smart about it. You can't go out there and just think you're just gonna walk through these guys or win. Anything could happen. And God forbid you break something, you're out the whole season. So I'm definitely being a lot smarter. My training camp is right for what I'm doing now, for the format that I'm pursuing.
Are you having fun? And in your career, have you always had fun, or has this job ever just been stressful?
Bro, I love this job, bro. I mean, it's definitely stressful. Like you can't control what happens in the cage. You know, like you can prepare for everything, and anything can happen out of there. So like really, my passion is I still love training. You know, and the new format. You know, I'm the way I'm training now is like a boxer. You know, I hired all my coaches. They live it. They come here to Vegas. They stay at hotels. You know, it's expensive, but it's the right way to do this. My training partners are guys that look like my opponents. They're not just random people that are just sparring with me for no reason. Everything's for a purpose. And I learned that, watching these boxers out here, bro. Like one of my main boxing coaches, Jorge Capatillo, seeing the way his boxers train and how smart they are in their preparation. It's a lot different than MMA, and I took that approach.
Anthony, I was thinking about your career and everything that you've been through. And along the way, I have to imagine, even though you face some of the best fighters in the world, there's got to be moments in your career or in your life where you were afraid. Can you point to one moment, a fear that maybe you were able to conquer and maybe even use to your advantage in your career?
Man, I'm still afraid, like even though I am where I'm at, financially and legacy of my career, anything could happen out there, bro. Like we're fighting, we're not playing a sport. You take another boxer just died, not too long ago, unfortunately. Rest in peace, man. Like this is fighting. This is not a sport, man. Like this is life-changing stuff. I just had a new daughter, and knowing that like I'm putting my body at risk and potentially, it could change the way my future goes with my kids. So yeah, I mean, I'm always afraid when I go into that cage, but I think that's what I use to perform the way I do. I think I'm a lot smarter with my fear now. I know how to channel it and use my energy to do the like my last fight. Like I think I was very composed. I looked like a professional my last fight, and then if you look at last season, I looked like an amateur, bro. I was out there just trying to fight, and it was a mindset change. I had to go out there and like really practice on being a professional and doing things to win the fight and being smart. And no lie, like seeing these boxers, the way these boxers approach their fights, it's a thing of beauty, bro. Like sometimes you don't get these wars in boxing, but when you appreciate what they're doing and how long they can do it for, 36 minutes, it's like, yo, that's what you got to tap into.
George brought up the showtime kick and what you were able to do with something like that. And the thing that I find amazing about that kick is even if you told somebody that's athletic to replicate it in practice, I don't know that they'd be able to do it even slowing things down and saying, okay, you stand there, I'm going to get my, like, you did it in a fight, which is crazy to me. But Duke Rufus one time told us, he goes, that was cool, but I've seen him do even crazier things. Is there still something up your sleeve that you haven't done? Is there anything that's eluded you, a finish, anything in your career?
Oh man, there's so much stuff that I've done in sparring that that just I haven't had the opportunity to do in a fight yet. And it's all opportunity based. Like you got to see the opening, you got to see the right response, the right guy, the right confidence to throw these kind of moves. But I think it comes from my Taekwondo background, bro. Like if you look at all the Taekwondo guys and you see the kind of moves that they're throwing, I mastered those moves. I've been doing Taekwondo since I was 5 years old, and I'm able to do these in real fights, and not a lot of guys can do that.
All right, back to me with some ridiculous questions. Have you seen the movie Gladiator with Russell Crowe?
That's one of my favorite movies.
Do you think, because you did admit that you have some fears, and maybe Russell Crowe had some fears too, but do you think that if this was Roman times, you would have been one of those gladiators, or is that just too raw, man, to the death?
Oh, bro, like I feel like the way I left the UFC was exactly that movie, bro. I had to fight for my freedom. I fought my contract out. I did it the right way. A lot of guys like go in the media and they're like, "Oh, UFC." They try to badmouthing the UFC. Like, nah, bro, you signed a contract. You know what's at stake. And if you lose your last fight, leaving the UFC, unfortunately, everything changes. So, yeah, I feel honestly like that movie was like one of those things when I told Duke, I'm like, I feel like I'm in Gladiator right now. I'm fighting for my freedom.
Yeah, man, that movie, holy cow, they went at it in that one. Down the road, you're with PFL, I got it. But down the road, would you ever try Bare-Knuckle? Again, I've asked MMA fighters. Some have said, nah, too much. Others are like, yeah, that's me as well.
Nah, I mean, maybe. I mean, it just depends on the opponent, obviously, and the what's on the line. I wouldn't just go out there and try to like start from the beginning and work my way up to a title shot in Bare-Knuckle. I like to really box. I think I've been spending a lot of time in the boxing gym. I didn't get to show my boxing skills my last fight, but hopefully, with Stevie Ray, I get to show what I've been working on with my hands. But yeah, I'd lean more towards a real boxing fight before Bare-Knuckle. But I wouldn't rule it out, bro. I love fighting. This is what I was born to do. I'm an entertaining fighter, and fans love to watch me fight.
All right. Now on this one, I'm gonna ask you to keep it 100, like the kids say. How many rounds can your calves go in boxing? Because the transition to boxing obviously is different. Your legs, and from boxers that I've talked to, they always talk about their calves and being strong for 12 rounds. So let's say you were to have a pro fight, can your legs hold up for 4, 6, 8, 10? Where do you think you're at right now?
I already spar 8 to 10 rounds boxing right now. And like I said, I changed my training style towards more of a boxer striker. I think earlier in my career, I was really trying to catch up on the jiu-jitsu and wrestling portion of mixed martial arts, and I didn't do a lot of the road work, the jump rope, the things that give your legs the energy. If you watch my Instagram, if you follow me, bro, I run every morning now with these boxers. That's part of my day now. I wake up, we run at 6:30 a.m. We're doing 3 to 5 miles. Right after that, we do our boxing practice, which has running in it. We're also jumping rope. So I know the importance of having the strong legs and the endurance in the legs. And it helps with mixed martial arts too, bro. Like it really helps with your confidence in being in shape.
Yeah, there's brutal heat too, man. Must be pretty taxing. And I wanted to ask you, do you do it at the mountain as well, or just around here in Vegas?
We do the mountain as well, man. So Saturdays we go to Charleston. We do it's 7 miles uphill. It takes about an hour and a half. It's just straight uphill, and it's cool because we probably got like 15 dudes running it with us, and you see like the guys that are the quick boxers that are in title contention shape, and then you see the guys that are like 6-round shape and 8-round shape, and you could see the difference.
Exactly. Except I think I'd use any word but cool to describe that, man. I don't think I can make 1 mile. And if someone said, how did it go? I don't think I'd say it's cool, but
nah, bro, the best thing about it is it's a fight in your own head, bro. Like the resistance that your body gives, you really feel it during that. Like you try to figure out every which way to stop, or like figure out how to like slow it down or pace yourself. And it's a constant battle between you and yourself for an hour and a half straight uphill. And then when you get to that last mile, you're like, I'm almost there. And it's nothing like, you get to that top and you're just like, man, you feel accomplished. Every time I do it, bro, I'm like, yo, I try to beat my last time, and I compete with myself, and you have an hour and a half to be in your own head, and you're for that voice that tells you to quit, just screaming. It's like slow down, stop, and you just gotta fight that. And that's what fighting is, bro. Like when you get into these fights, like Glover and this last fight, bro, like that was a war that these guys went through. And I'm sure both of them, that they're both of their little voices in their head were like, yo, figure out how to get out of this fight. And I've been there before, man, with RDA, with Ben Henderson, and practicing that on a weekly basis is definitely different than just seeing it once in, twice a year.
Yeah. So folks, for those that don't know, in Vegas, we're about 2,500 altitude. So them going to Mount Charleston is probably adding another 5,000 or something. You get to about 7 or 8, right?
You get to the top, you're at 8,000.
Your lungs must be cooking, man.
It's cold. So we go at 6 a.m., man. So like you start, it's like freezing at the bottom, and the time you get to the top, you can't stop sweating.
You guys aren't fighters. You guys are gangsters. I don't know how you do it. All right, we're gonna close with fashion. Last time we talked about the 40G watch. It's worth 60 now. Hats off to that. So let me ask you something. When it comes to hats, is this still in this deal?
Bro, I wear it, man. I think my whole style is just like whatever I want to wear now, bro. I think I used to care about what people think, and now it's just like if I like it, I don't give a fuck what people think. But yeah.
What do you think of this guy that walks in like this with the flat bill? That's out, isn't it, or is it still in?
Nah, I mean when I go fishing, I wear the flat bill.
Okay. What about this guy? What do you think of that guy? Yo, what's up?
Is that to the left?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Nah, man, I'm not sure about all that, bro. I got away from that life. I'm out here in Vegas, just living the family life.
Really? Does the left mean something, or?
It does.
Oh, okay, all right. We'll talk about that later. No, yeah. And what about this guy? I kind of like this guy, the taco shell. Not too much, but low riding.
Yeah, bro. In Vegas, you got to wear it like that. It's way too sunny out here, bro. Whenever I'm in Vegas, I got to keep the hat on.
Got to check in with the fashionista, Anthony Pettis. Is always looking good. All right, Anthony. Hey, man. It's always a blast to talk to you. Can't wait to see you fight against Stevie Ray, June 24th. You always deliver. You got the belts to prove it, and people still talk about a lot of the fights that you've done in the past. Last time we talked about that that armbar in Milwaukee. You know, like we were like, oh, what happened? And then you kind of explained that to us. So yeah. Anyway, God bless you, man. Talk to you soon. All right. And thanks for the time as always.
Thanks, man. Yeah, be easy.